Hello and welcome to the Raise Your Vibe and Thrive podcast with me, your host, Jackie Frith. And today I am joined by the very amazing Maria Atherley. And the subject of today is divine feminine within and without. Hello, Maria.
Hi, Jackie.
How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm really well. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good.
Maria spent 23 years in HR, qualified as a level 1 Kundalini yoga teacher, and you've done embodied yin yoga. I'm just reading all of our list that I've got down here with all your amazing abilities. Embodied yin yoga, sound therapy, Reiki, and you share healing through sound, embodied wisdom, and high vibrational energies. And I know I asked you earlier how you bring the divine feminine into your work, and your answer was, and I quote, "Divine feminine is woven into all of my work, my ceremonies, my sound baths, circles, and oracle readings." So I'm really, really excited to be talking to you today. And what I absolutely love is the fact that I can see all of your gongs and your cymbals and your glockenspiels and everything, and I've experienced this within the room. You know, me and a friend came and had our own private sound bath, also I've been to your workplace where you used to have the sound baths and the treatments. Sorry, that's my dog in the background over on my left. He's making some noises, so just excuse Star if you hear some doggy vibes. And obviously on Sunday I came and experienced one of your cacao ceremonies with a sound bath and the yin yoga as well, which was just, it was magical. It was a really magical day. So as we're talking about divine feminine, I thought what would be really good to start with is just to find out, what is divine feminine?
What is divine feminine? Divine feminine sits and lives within every single sentient being, in animals, in plants, in the land, in men's bodies, in women's bodies. As humans, are we human? Ooh, I don't know. Are we dancers? Song there somewhere. There's always songs. There's always songs that come through me. Well, that's how the divine speaks to me, through sound, through song. And I often get song titles or lines from songs, and I've had, since I can remember, what I would consider to be a really, it's not useless skill, but I can recall the lines of songs. I can remember lyrics really, really clearly of songs, and I'll just get downloads, and it's like, oh, that's what I'm focusing on today, or that's what the message is. But divine feminine is that aspect of us. I'm channeling now this answer. It's that aspect of us that has become repressed and suppressed through the patriarchal structures of the external world that we live in. It's a very simple answer. It's an energetic force that flows through our bodies in different healing modalities. So you've heard of yin and yang, yes? Absolutely. So yin is the feminine, yang is the masculine. In Kundalini yoga, we talk about the Ida and the Pingala as two energetic lines that move up and down the Sushumna, which is the central energetic column of the body. And so this is the movement. It's the snake. It's the and that Kundalini is lying dormant at the base of our spine, that energy. And once we activate it, then we start working in flow with our masculine and with our feminine. And because we are all divine and human, not everybody would embody that, and not everybody would find that statement true, but I know that to be true, then we are effectively embodying our divinity through working with the feminine energies that have been suppressed through external influence. So it's the rebirth of goddess. As women, we are goddesses walking the earth. We are powerful. We are magical creatures. We have connectivity to the elements, to the earth, to the air, the sky, the fire, the water. We are elemental beings, but we are also cosmic beings. So once we connect and start to become in flow and in balance with these energies, and we start to embody them, then we become it becomes us. And then it's they them, and not he she.
And
the true non-binary.
And also, so you were talking about the patriarchy, and obviously before the patriarchy came into force, or however you want to say it, we were kind of, well, I say we, and I don't mean we, I mean as in the feminine form was what was kind of worshipped before it switched from a goddess to a god. And correct. I think that's what the patriarchy completely ruined and just wiped it out of existence, more or less, didn't they? And when we talk about like the witch wound and like the burning of the witches, that's all come from the patriarchy.
Yeah, which is, it's a systemic overlay of energies that has been overlaid in our world, in our universe, on this planet, to repress and suppress the power of the feminine. Because what sits within the potential of each woman is creation energy, because we all have the potential to birth life. And that doesn't necessarily mean human life. It can mean a life of creation. So what we're birthing into the world, our work, our art, our music, what we're bringing basically in service to goddess, to the highest and greatest good, to serve humanity.
Okay, amazing.
That's what goddess is. And then there are 10,000 faces of goddess, and I could talk all day about goddess energy. But
we'll talk a little bit more about that in a short while. But I'm just really interested to know, and what I'm tending to find as well, and the more people that I'm talking to and the interviews and things that I'm doing, is that a lot of people tend to have had quite long careers in, whether you call it corporate, whether you call it in the matrix, or whatever you want to call it, in terms of what some people are calling 3D careers, jobs, that are moving away from that and going more into the spiritual aspect. And I know that myself, because I was in the corporate world for a very long time. So how did you get from 23 years in HR to be in this, well, not this, I don't mean this, but being what it is that you do now? How did that all come about?
I'm going to say divine intervention. It started with a death, as these things always do. There has to be pain before we can be born. That is a true statement based on human birthing process. When we give birth to children, it ain't not painful. It's a painful process for the mother and for the child. So death, to start off with, cracked my world. And that then led to more death, the death of a 21-year marriage relationship. And then being free in the world to do my thing and find my path as an independent single mum, but then not for very long, because then by divine guidance, I met my now beloved, who I've been married to for 5 years. We've been together nearly 8 years. So John coming into my life as my divine masculine has created a container for me and a safety net for me to be able to cast off the shackles, the overlays, all the old programs. I mean, I'm not saying he's done it all for me, because he hasn't. I've done the hard work. He's been my enabler. He's been the container that has held me safe and kept me safe financially. And that's the truth, because I gave up my financial independence to not have any income at all.
Okay.
And then start all over again. And I've been what I would consider to be on a pathway of esoteric learning for 6 years plus. When I had a physical spiritual awakening in Ibiza in October 2016, and that was with Kundalini yoga. So yeah, that is a very long-winded answer to what could be quite a question.
Yeah, okay.
But these things are never straightforward,
Well,
are they?
exactly. And just the fact, what piqued my interest a little bit was when you were saying that he was your divine masculine. So would you say, because I'm speaking from my own experience now, when you were in your career as HR, would you say that you were predominantly or quite a lot within your own masculine energy rather than being in more of your feminine energy, would you say?
I definitely think there was an imbalance in my energetic body, yes. And it was more predisposed to masculine. There were many aspects of feminine, but they were suppressed. I never considered myself a creative person. Never have described myself as a creative person, and creativity is the foundation of the feminine.
Absolutely.
So, and now I'm expressing every aspect of my creativity on a daily basis, and particularly through the sound medicine that I serve. So yeah.
Okay. So how do you think somebody can get that balance? Yeah, because I know from my own perspective, and this is all part of my journey and my spiritual journey, is to be embracing more of the feminine, the divine feminine, rather than divine masculine. Because throughout my career, the travel career that I've had, still do to a certain extent, I've resided a lot within my masculine because I was a leader. So I was a manager, so I had to lead people. So I was a doer. So I was very, very, very independent. Didn't want people's help. And again, that's a very masculine trait. So how would somebody listening to this and thinking, oh my goodness, that sounds like me, but they want to flow more into that divine feminine. How would what advice would you give them to be able to do that? Help them with it? Because it's all about balance, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think there has to be a decision to change, and it has to be like draw a line, and I'm going to start doing things differently, because it is a choice, isn't it? Every day we have choices to make, and we can make that conscious choice every single day to make the change. But when we're in a system that rewards masculine behaviors, success, ladder climbing, earning more money, having more possessions, a bigger house, a flashier car, a more youthful complexion, all of that, can I swear?
Of course.
Bullshit that we've been fed, and we swallowed, and I swallowed it. Swallowed it. I was I was in that, and it's when you start realizing that all these stories that we've been told, a lot of them are based on lies and imbalance, and it is that decision to say, actually, no, I'm not going to align myself with this anymore. I want to really start understanding me and who I am and what I'm here for. How do I feel about my life? How do I feel about my relationship? How do I feel about my family? What are my values? Am I living my values? Am I in alignment? How do I feel about my physical body? Do I love myself? Why do I not? If I say no, what part of me do I not love? What have I been taught that is wrong about what I see when I look in the mirror, when I'm naked, about my body? It's on such a deep, multi-layered, there are so many levels. It's an onion peeling, but we just have to start somewhere and say, no more, fuck that shit. I don't like this anymore, and I want to feel more. I want to feel more satisfied and stimulated and nurtured by everything that I do, rather than just little snippets of oh, I really enjoyed that meal I had the other day, or that one conversation that I had with that one friend who gets me, that really stimulated me intellectually, but all the rest of the conversations I have with my other friends are all still a bit gossipy and a bit, you know, talking about other people and all of that kind of trashy stuff that, again, we get sucked into, because I've been there, and it's not good. It's lower vibrational, because ultimately what this all comes back to is frequency and vibration, and lifting ourselves up from lower vibrational frequencies. And this is what this working with sound has taught me, I guess, the more scientific part of how we align ourselves with the flow of spirit and the universe and God and goddess, and bring in our physical, emotional, spiritual and psychological aspects of our healing journey, because it's so multi-layered, and there's no same path for every single person, and everyone's going to start at a different place as well. Some people will have a physical experience first. Some people will think, actually, I think I'm connecting with someone who's passed and they're trying to tell me a story. And some people will have an emotional release, and that will, you know, make them have to do something different. And some people will have a bomb explode in their life, and they won't have a choice but to make a change. And this is all spirit, the divine's way of making themselves known to us and saying, hi, I'm here. Are you paying attention? Are you listening? You are divine, you are human, and you are these marvelous beings, and you are so powerful and full of love, but you've become degraded, and I want to help you. But we walk around like this, don't we? La, 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 la. I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear, because this is my world and I'm comfortable and I'm in my comfort zone. And I lived in my comfort zone for way too long. I knew for years that my marriage was broken, Jackie, and I didn't take right action. And you know, I've now worked through the karmic repercussions of that reticence to act when I should have, and I've done the work, and I've let all of that shit go, and I'm in a place now where I'm really ready to serve and just be here and receive as many people that need to be guided and shown the path, because that's all it is. I'm holding a light, I'm holding a torch, or a candle, or a great big flipping lighthouse light. For some people I've been, but for some it's like, oh yeah, you're there, I quite like what you do. Can I come and sit in circle, or can I just come and lie and have a sound bath? And then it starts. But yeah,
So
Did
I'd
that
like
answer
to
your
talk a little bit more about, yeah, it does, yeah, massively answers the question and then some. I'd love to talk a little bit more about sound baths and the vibrational frequencies of the sound as well.
Yeah.
Because I said I've experienced quite a few sound baths, and for me it's just the vibration that I feel throughout my body. When we were there on Sunday, I could feel, so sometimes my body goes a bit numb, or it feels a little bit, so my arms felt like they were levitating a little bit, even though they were flat on the ground.
Yeah.
And that's obviously all from the vibrational frequencies of the sound. So tell us a little bit about your journey to get into the sound, and also how it heals, how it can help heal. And I know that they work on the different hertz frequencies, and you know, which is again amazing things. So yeah, just talk to us a little bit about the sound.
Okay, so sound and music, now that I've done all of this work and I've reconnected all of the that, and like going back on my healing journey, to put all the little pieces of the breadcrumb trails back together. Music has always been a big part of my life. I played the flute and the recorder as a school girl, and I performed on stage, and I was part of a wind band. not that kind of wind. Playing the flute in a band. In my hometown of Hull, where I was born. I was in Hull Wind Band, and we gave performances, and I did A-level music, and then
Wow.
I really got into live music and like going to gigs and festivals, and then I didn't play for a long time, just listened and absorbed. When I did my Kundalini yoga teacher training, it was the mantra, the chanting, the nad energy, which is the sound, the frequency, that really hooked me in. And I felt the power of the vibration of those chants and the music, and that was really what hooked me in that modality. Always played music and mantra and chanting at all of my yoga classes. It's always been a thread. And then I was put in the path of an amazing guy called Craig Eddington, who now runs the sound therapy company from Leeds. And I was one of his second cohort of students on the foundation course in sound healing. I think I can't even remember what it was, what the title was. It doesn't matter. It was a 120-hour program in 2019. So I completed that in December 19 to do, and we covered the whole spectrum from voice to drum to singing bowls to gongs to just everything. I couldn't touch tuning forks though, which was really interesting. I felt that was like, oh no, these are sacred instruments and they're very precise. And I was like, no, I can't mess with these. They felt like magical implements. And I've since learned through doing further development that yes, absolutely they are. And when we start working with very specific frequencies, that's when we get into the real nooks and crannies of what people are holding in their energy fields that needs to be let go.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 sets of tuning forks. I've got a chakra set that's tuned into the energetics of the body, and then I've also got a solfeggio frequency set, which you will have experienced in, I think I don't even know if I've used the forks with you. I don't think I did I? But my pipes that I've got, my solfeggio pipes, I played those in sound baths. So they're tuned to the solfeggio healing frequencies, which are very high frequencies. They start at 196 hertz and they go all the way up to 963 hertz. 963 is God frequency, basically. It's the angelic realms. So you're getting really high portals opening up with those frequencies. So one of the ladies that I've learned a lot from is a lady called ꜱᴜ, and she's written a book called Human Biofield Tuning. And that gives the full kind of the scientific and the spiritual, if you will, amalgamation of how frequency works, and it's to do with quantum healing, because we're in other dimensions we might not be able to see with our human eyes, but we exist in the quantum field, and this is how sound works in the quantum field. And it's actually the electric universe. If people want to go and research that, it's really interesting. Some of the other people that I've studied with, Dr. Bruce Lipton, who's written a book called The Biology of Belief.
I know Bruce.
Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's written, one of his books is called Becoming Supernatural, and he's proven out how our brains work when we meditate, what happens when we apply different frequencies, and he's done all the actual scientific monitoring with all the sticky bits on the head. I don't know what, all of that. And who else is amazing? Greg Braden, he's really good as well. He's all about aligning the thoughts become things, and we exist on a plane that is affected by all sorts of different interferences energetically. And the only way we can actually cut through that is by raising our vibration of our own body and lifting it to a certain base level that we know. It's like, none shall pass. I'm clear of that now. I've kind of integrated that level, and I'm feeling in tune and clear. So that's what all of these magical instruments do. Work on brainwave states, so that we can work with the subconscious without being hypnotized.
All right. So someone would, so typically what would somebody come to you for where you would use sound for healing?
Anything and everything. Feeling out of sorts, at a bit of a crossroads with their life, knowing that they need to do stuff but need a little bit of a kick, have been physically unwell and want to feel better, with a variety of ailments, have been addicted to alcohol or drugs or sex or exercise or any food, any of the things that we get hooked into that don't feed us. Actually, they destroy us, but we are predisposed to addiction, so it's dead easy to go down those roads. So kind of anything and everything, really. I have people coming on the basis of, I just want to learn to relax because I just don't feel like I can just chill out. Can you help me? Or they've tried psychotherapy, talk therapy, CBT, EMDR, different talk therapies, and still not really getting under the surface of things. They're not ready to let go because it might be really old stuff that's keeping them stuck. And I would say most of the time, if not all of the time, people they leave feeling lighter, brighter, and clearer in their energy and in their thought processes, so that they can go back into their lives and actually start making some decisions about the things that they might need to change. Because this is not about living in like airy fairy land. This is about how can this work be of practical use to people, so that they can live better lives and be happier and more vibrant and in tune and courageous and loving.
Fabulous. Yeah, I'm just sat here listening. I'm just taking it all in, and I'm like mesmerized by everything that's going on behind you and your words. So it's just, and I'm just being drawn back to before we started the video, you said something that then got us into a song that then was, could it be magic? And I said, I'm going to write that down because I think there's a reason why we've been drawn to that. And those are kind of the words that I want to be saying. Could it be magic? Because it feels magical, doesn't it? It feel when we talk about it, and I think when we talk about magic, sometimes it has a little bit of people misinterpret it, don't they? And life is magic. Life is magical if you make it be magical. So I think those words, could it be magic? Well, of course it could be, because everything is, if we allow it to be and we open up to the acceptance of it as well.
Yeah,
because I think a lot of people are so, you were doing this earlier, like blinkered and so focused. You know, I went for 32 years of my life like that, tunnel vision. This is what I'm doing, this is my career, I'm going to get to the top of this ladder and I'm going to do this, and I don't really care what happens to everybody else. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It was me, very independent, very, and it took, you know, the car accident on the M6 for me spinning off, you know, to kind of wake me up, spiritually wake me up.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, where a lot of people would really benefit from bringing the magic in and releasing.
Yeah, we human beings have got an innate capacity for pain. Actually, we can withstand a hell of a lot of pain before we're going to do something about it.
Yeah,
and we're so stubborn by our nature, because we're dense creatures. We're in the physical, and depending on your astrology as well. I mean, I'm triple Earth. I'm Capricorn Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising. I am of this earth. I am an elemental cosmic being, not a cosmic elemental being. It took me a long time, and I was stubborn. I was really proper stubborn, and I guess in denial about my truth for a long time. And we are, because we've been taught, we've been programmed to stay small, to keep small, to get on, get our head down, be a good worker bee, do your job, get to work on time, go to school, behave yourself, do this, do that. And no, none of that, actually. I am a sovereign, creative person, and I will make my living how I choose to, not
being dictated,
doing what you say you need me to do. And I will open myself up to every single possibility. Everything just feels so expansive. I've got a lot of Jupiter activity in my astrological natal chart this year, actually. That's one of the things that I have delved into as part of my getting to know me journey, is astrology. And I found an amazing astrologer. Oh, look, the signs come back.
It was on before, and then it kept disappearing, and love is the answer. And now it's flashed back up again. So
love is the answer.
Great. So I remember when I walked in, that was one of the first things I saw when I walked into your room. Love is the answer.
Whatever the question is,
love is the answer. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I want to touch on something you, because I recorded a video. It's not on my channel yet, but I recorded it a couple of weeks ago about suffering. And do we have to suffer to be spiritual? And in the video I was sharing that, you know, no, we don't need to suffer to be spiritual. However, most people that I've met that have become spiritual or got onto their kind of spiritual awakening was because of the suffering that they'd had in their life. You know, it's usually like a wake-up call. I don't think we then necessarily have to have the foresight that we have to then carry on suffering. I think it's more that it's something that happens to us usually or often that gets us onto the spiritual kind of path. So what are your thoughts on that?
I actually don't like the frequency of the word suffering. because that implies that it's happening to us, and that it's a disempowering word. So we allow ourselves to suffer, if we so choose. We allow ourselves to be in pain if we so choose, but actually we can be in pain without suffering.
Okay.
We can be in pain without suffering. We're still in pain. We don't have to suffer, because suffer is like, it's pressing us down. It's like, it's something outside of ourselves that we can't fight against. And I must like make myself small. And ultimately we choose whether we suffer or not.
Okay.
We don't necessarily choose whether we're going to be in pain or not. Because pain will come to us when we need it.
Yeah.
When we need a reminder that things are out of balance and things are out of kilter, either in the physical, emotional, psychological, pain will come to us. Because pain is our greatest teacher.
Yes.
Pain is the thing that kicks our ass into next week and gives us the impetus to say, fuck this shit, I am changing my life. I am not going to suffer. I choose not to. Yeah. Because it's that victim mentality, isn't it?
It is. Absolutely.
And it's, again, it's a program.
It's a program. It is.
And we have to be so careful about the words that we use, that we speak. And this is part of the teaching now that I share with people. It's absolute discernment with the words that come out of our mouths, because they cast spells. Spelling is casting spells, and understanding the words that we're using and their impact and what they mean when we speak them, because they're out and there's a sound, there's a vibration.
Yeah. So
there's that aspect. So when we speak affirmations and we sing mantra and we sing high vibrational lyrics, could it be magic? Oh yeah, it could be magic. Let's
that's what we were doing, having a bit of a dance before we started recording.
Be like my fire, Robbie. That. Or Gary or Jason, or
whichever one you want.
Mark, Howard. It is so, thoughts become things, words become spells, and they can make or break our whole mentality and our world. So if it's not kind, don't say it. If it's not true, don't say it. And be the guardian of, we've got two of these for a reason and one of these for a reason. So use these twice and this less, and apply the filter. And then you know that what you speak is true and good and right and light and of love and of kindness and discernment.
Love that. Love it. You talk about mantras. What is your favorite mantra?
Oh God, I've got so many. At the moment, it was a Ganesha mantra, that you can see what you've got on my wall here.
Ganesh. I've got my wallpaper on my phone is Ganesh.
Yeah, so Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Yeah. So I've been chanting that for a long time. But at the moment, I'm working with Kali Ma. Burn it all away. Burn it all away. If it doesn't serve you, then burn it all away. Om Kali, Om Namo. Om Kali, Om Namo. I'm not going to sing right now. I'm not tuned in. But my Kundalini mantras are the Aquarian sadhana mantras. So there are 7 of them. Aquarian sadhana. So we start with Ekankar, and then we move on to Vayanti, the Mul mantra, Satsiri Siri Akal, Rake Rakanaha, Guru Ramdas, and there's two more and I've forgotten them. That's awful, isn't it? It's a 62-minute chant in total, and that's my spiritual practice is chanting, and they are all recitations from the Japji, which is the Sikhi spiritual text, and they are all invocating God and light and alignment and clarity, protection, like deathlessness, working through the cycles, life, death, rebirth, completion, connection with the infinite. Beautiful, 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 beautiful work. Yeah.
Well, interestingly, the first one that you said, and this is why I picked my phone up, I wasn't being rude, I've got notes on my phone, and it's also on my, because I've got an iPhone, so it's the notes go on all of my different devices. And I was looking on my notes on my Mac the other day, and I've not even put in anything to do with the chants or the mantras, but they were there on my screen. And the two, I'm just going to find them now. The two that was there, I can't even remember when I put them on my screen, but I clearly did for a reason. And I've got Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Now I've done that with the beads, so 108 times.
Yes.
I used to sit and do that 108 times with the beads. And then the other one was Om Gum Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha.
Lakshmi
Namaha.
Yeah.
So can you just so just specifically picking like these two?
Yeah.
Because there's a reason, obviously, why they were on my phone. I can't even realize that they were on there.
Okay.
And I wrote them, I think, like 3 or 4 years ago on my phone.
Yeah. Okay.
So clearly, with you saying that, they're meant to be brought up and talked about today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So there's two deities there. They're both Hindu deities. The first one is Lord Ganesh, who you know, the elephant-headed, clearer of obstacles. So you have been working with his energy through mantra, through spirit, to say, clear my path, give me clarity. Where am I going? Just show me, remove all the obstacles in my way so that I know where I'm heading and what I'm doing. So that's Lord Ganesh.
So that was the Om Gam Ganapataye
Namaha. That is the seed mantra, the Bij mantra of Ganesh. So Om is the universe, the sound of the universe. Om is actually a 3-syllable sound, and then Gum is the root mantra or the seed mantra, the Bij of Ganesh, because he relates to the root chakra. So clear the root, clear the foundations, clear out any detritus from my root, anything that is stopping me from flowing up through my foundations, making me solid here on the earth. So Ganapataye Namaha. Namaha means, so Ganapataye is another iteration of Ganesh in Sanskrit, and Namaha is all that is not Ganesh. So just him, basically, bring his energy. So very powerful root chakra clearing mantra. And Lakshmi, interestingly, is the water goddess of creativity in the Hindu pantheon. So she is your sacral chakra. She so is it on Shreem Lakshmi?
So it's Om Gum Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha.
So Maha is mother, Lakshmi is Lakshmi, Namaha, all that is not Lakshmi. So clear all that is not Lakshmi out and bring her into my sacral chakra. So the sacral is the womb, it's our creativity, it's our what we're going to bring into the world, it's our expression, it's our freedom of movement, it's our sexual energy. So anything that is stuck sexually in your body from old imprinting and things, clear that out. So two really powerful mantras actually to be working with.
Okay.
And that's getting you closer into your power center, which is your willpower. I always forget the name of it. The yellow one.
Oh, the solar plexus. Solar plexus. Yeah.
It's got two words in English. And I'm like, come on. It's the lustrous gem in Sanskrit is its name. Again, it's just completely gone out of my head, and it doesn't really matter because it's that glow inside of us that is our fire. And this brings me back to Goddess and Bridget, because she is the fire. She is the divine feminine fire of this land. She is the triple goddess, the lady of the fire, the water, the earth, maiden, mother, crone, all that comes through this land to support us in our feminine, in our divine feminine bodies. And so I've been working with some of her songs as well, just invoking her energy back in. And they're obviously in English because she is a ancient Celtic goddess. So beautiful, beautiful songs through different songwriters that I'm, lots of her music. Amazing. Singing. Amazing. Yeah,
Maria, it's been I could talk to you for hours, to be honest. I think we need to have some cushions and some cacao and just talk.
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So how can people sort of get in touch with you? How can people work with you? Do you still do your Kundalini yoga classes?
Not really. I was teaching in the space that I had that closed in April 21. I did a little block in a lovely yoga studio in Drumfield, localish to us, near Sheffield, last year. I don't have anything else programmed in. Apart from I'm doing a workshop at a yoga studio in Barnsley in April. I'm going to get the date wrong because I can't even remember, but if you look on their website, it's Mind Body Spirit Barnsley, run by a beautiful soul called Michelle Griffiths. She is a divine feminine. She is an amazing teacher, and she's asked me to come in and do an afternoon workshop with Kundalini breathwork, mantra and movement. So I'm doing a little bit. So I'm keeping my hand in, so to speak.
Brilliant.
But the rest of the work that I'm doing at the moment is really with sound in groups, small ceremonies, to like duo sound. That seems to be really popular. Partners, mums and daughters, sisters, best friends. Here in my space in Mosborough, I'm out and about in the region, so I kind of get asked to go and play at retreats and things. So I get like private bookings for retreats. But I have a regular slot on the third Thursday of the month at Ridgeway, at the space where we were at on Sunday, which Sheffield, is in S12. And I'm also playing at the Power of Yoga in Greenhill the third Sunday of every month, 6 till 7:30. So that's the Power of Yoga, and you can find it on their website, the Power of Yoga Sheffield. Again, you can find it there. My website is mariaatherley.com, and you can find me on Google. All my contact details are on there. It's probably the easiest way to find me, actually.
Fabulous. Brilliant. Well, what I will do is put your contact details underneath the video, or if you're obviously watching this on YouTube. And then I will also put it on for the podcast, because this will go on video and podcast.
Brilliant.
But it's been amazing. It's been enlightening. It's been fun. It's been magic. It's been magical. And I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. Thank you so much for the chat. It just feels like we're just having a little chit chat.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And I think, I think just, to just have this experience with you, and to learn more about you as well, because I've known you for a number of years, but there were things that I learned about you today that I didn't know. So that's It's been amazing. So if anybody
Yeah.
has got any questions that you want Maria to answer, please just put them below. Also give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us a follow. That will be amazing. And I'm going to say, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.